I would come into the house, out of the house, back into the house, back to the car. Forget my wallet, forget my keys, forget my bag, forget my snack, forget my water bottle, and I would lose my mind. Then I would be late for the place that I was going to, furthering the self-critical negative talk that would often bring me to my knees and into adult temper tantrums. Certainly this happened as a kid, but in the past I used to use drugs to deal with it. It would still happen. That pattern of being disconnected from time, from organization, from my memory is torture. And if you have ADHD or you live with someone with ADHD, you definitely know what I am talking about. Oh, did you bring the thing down from upstairs that I asked you to bring? Oh, no, sorry, I forgot. Let me go back up and get it. I go back upstairs and get it. Ooh, what's this book doing here? Oh, this looks interesting. Whatever. Go back downstairs. Hey, did you bring that thing down? Oops, no, I forgot it. Back up the stairs you go. And the pattern just repeats. It's torture. What do we do about that? There are many things we can do about that. Not just the memory skills or the lack of forgetfulness, but also managing our time and our day and our calendars and our lives in such a way that make those moments of forgetfulness, disorganization, of running all over the place, less likely to happen, and also making it more likely that we do the things we say we're going to do, live the lives we want to live, and reduce those friction points with other people, with the world, and also ultimately with ourselves and our own self-hatred, self-criticism, self-loathing. So in this video, we are going to cover some of science's or research's best skills to deal with that. And I am going to present them to you in such a way that I hope they are most helpful, most impactful for you. My name is Mike Stroh. I am somebody who has lived with a bunch of these things in the past, continue to live with. I'm a therapist. I'm a human being. This is the Starts With Me channel. I hope you find this helpful. Whether you're somebody who's tried all kinds of tips and tricks to deal with your forgetfulness, for your time management skills, for getting things done on time, or if you're new to this whole journey in self-exploration, this video will help you, I promise. Even in theory, it will help you. In practice and in reality, it will also help you too. So whether it's the forgetfulness of getting in and out of the house, the transition from one activity to another, managing multiple things in a short time window, we've been there. We've suffered the pain and the torment of failing at it, of struggling with it, of the consequences of our actions, the shame and the blame that we receive from other people in the world as a result of these things. So no matter how organized you get, things still don't get done a lot of the time. You color code your calendar, you got your to-do list, you got the reminders on your phone, the alarms on your phone, the notifications, all that stuff, and yet still nothing happens. Or it doesn't meet your expectations of what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be a super functional, productive person. Yet, again, these things, maybe they work for a day or two, and then they fall off, and you never get back to them. One primary idea that we must integrate is accepting that that is our reality. Doesn't mean we're okay with it. Doesn't mean we don't do anything about it, but that is our reality. There's a comfort, there's a peace, there's an ease that can arise from just acknowledging, yes, this is my reality. It is likely to always be my reality. I am going to fail, and that's just how it is. So when I fail and when I struggle and when I don't meet my expectations, what do I do about that? Giving up is not acceptable. Saying it doesn't work for me is not acceptable. The amount of people I have worked with who say, I tried that, didn't work for me, so I'm not going to bother. I have my own way of doing things. Those time skills, calendar skills don't work for me. To me, I think that's total BS. It's another excuse that you are making to prevent you from engaging in the behaviors consistently over time, to start to make them more habitual and to be more reliable to yourself, to honor them. So point number one, take responsibility for your inaction. It's okay to make mistakes. You will make mistakes. You will forget. You will fall off. But thou must pick thyself up off the ground and continue. Many of these systems, or many of the things that people try to do to make these actions more likely, as I mentioned, often fail. And that's okay. But we need the system. We must at least have some sort of system that prompts this behavior. And over time, we will make mistakes, and then we will learn how to tailor the system, if you will, to suit the way we are and to make it more likely that the things happen. One thing that I think is very important that often we don't do very well is to make amends and to acknowledge how difficult our behavior is for other people. And I don't mean groveling, sorry, I'm so sorry, I know I'm late, I know it's annoying, not a pandering to your own inadequacy in a sense. A genuine acknowledgement that this is difficult for other people. You understand that. You are doing your best to do something about it, and that you prove through your actions that you are doing something about it. So what does doing something about it look like? There's one piece to it that's the planning, the organizing, the prompting our brain and our bodies for action. It's the planning, the organizing, and then there's the behavior activation of actually engaging in the behavior. And often many of us struggle with one, some struggle with the other, and that's okay. It's about understanding that and then doing it again. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. My favorite tool for behavior activation comes from a wonderful, amazing, best-selling book, Atomic Habits. James Clear, the author, does an incredible job at breaking down centuries, if not millennia, of human understanding and self-awareness and research and scientific explorations of behavior change, and makes it very simple for us. And I greatly admire his work in this book. I think it is fantastic. So the implementation intention is the tool number one that I think we can start with. And you will see over time how this blends into the other tools and the other practices that I'm going to recommend. Okay, here we go. You are 2 to 3 times more likely to follow through with a habit if you make a specific plan for when, where, and how you are going to implement it. By outlining a clear plan of action and clarifying exactly what you need to work on, you will make the task simpler, which means it requires less motivation to do so. So when you wake up the next morning and find that your motivation has faded, you still might have enough to get started because the next step has already been outlined and is simple and clear. Researchers refer to these action plans as an implementation intention, a specific plan of action that can be executed when the time comes to act. An implementation intention is a choice we make beforehand about when and where to act. It refers to how you intend to implement a particular habit. The format for creating an implementation intention is, when situation X arises, I will perform response Y. A simple framework to design your own implementation intention is what I call the action time location strategy. I will action at time in location. For example, I will meditate for 1 minute at 7 a.m. in my kitchen. I will study Spanish for 20 minutes at 6 p.m. in my bedroom. I will exercise for 1 hour at 5 p.m. in my local gym. Give it a try with the template we're going to look at. Now, I've expanded my own version of this to include a little bit more deeper senses of motivation, which I think, particularly for those of us with ADHD, we need to dig in and tap into a deeper, more existential, sustainable source of motivation. Not because I want to get the job done or get my assignment done or finish the grocery shopping. It's more because I want to stop hating myself or my behavior, and I want to feel empowered and good about myself. That's a deeper sense of motivation, and one that is sustainable over time. Another helpful trick that I think works here is not per se to implement a consistent habit, but simply at 5 o'clock, I'm going to leave for my appointment because I know that it takes a long time to get there and I'm often late, so I'm going to leave extra early. Let's put the implementation intention into action here with the notion of being a little less forgetful, a little more likely to initiate the task that we are procrastinating on, and see how it integrates here. Okay, I will leave my house at 5 p.m. for my appointment, right? Put it in your calendar. That's going to be the next little part of this. 5 p.m. at my house. Why? As I just mentioned, because I want to be a better version of myself. I'm sick of being late, and this really matters to me that I am someone who is reliable. That connects to maybe that deeper sense of meaning. And it's a more effective way of us being likely to initiate the action. What will happen if I do not do this? Well, if I do not do this, then I will continue to dislike myself. I will continue to I will keep typing this. I will continue to feel poorly. My friends or the people I'm meeting will continue to not trust me. And that is painful. ... Something like that. We want to get more thorough and deeper and acknowledge the impact of our behavior and also the genuine desire for difference, for change, for something good to come out of our life. So I use this for those one-off activities. I do also, or have also, on occasion, use it to try to implement more habits. One might be, I will pick up my books after my day of work is finished. Okay. When my last client leaves, right, in my office. Reason why? Similar, you can give that reason, right? So if I want to come to work tomorrow to a clean, organized office, that will be the outcome. And as mentioned in the introduction, right, you can set this up for daily habits. It's just another little way to prime ourselves to take action. The second tool we are going to use in this video and look at to help us really grapple with this ADHD organizational conundrum, inability to engage in behavior, is called the time estimation worksheet. I know it from my training in ADHD therapy. It comes from the author's name is Salanto, which I think it is actually how you say referenced on the sheet here, but let's take a look at that. Okay, here we are. Let's take a look at the time estimation worksheet. I've adapted it a little bit to suit my own needs, my clinical needs, and also just ways that I think it's a little more helpful. So as you can see, this is lovely from, here she is, Mary Salanto. Sorry, Ari Tuckman is the one should be referenced down here. And we'll get to that one after. So time estimation worksheet. If we're procrastinating on a task, then the first step is too big. I love that. ADHD mind thinks finish paper, thinks cook dinner, thinks clean room. It doesn't think sit down at my desk and open my Word document for my paper. It doesn't think go into my kitchen and get out the frying pan or pick something to cook first. Right? It doesn't think pick up socks on floor and put them in laundry basket, right? We go to the end. We don't think about the next step, and shifting our brain into that can be a really helpful practice and a way to just reduce the procrastination just a little bit. And if we can do that, that is wonderful. And that's our aim. We're not going to change and be super organized and super productive and never procrastinate. That's just total bullshit that often our internal avoidance or our internal criticism tells us we must be in order to engage in any of this stuff. And it's madness and unhelpful. I love this other little saying, which is my own addition to this from one of the world leaders on procrastination. I forget his name at this moment. Anyway, so procrastination is the voluntary delay of an intended action despite expecting to be worse off for the delay. I will delay crossing this street right now so I don't get hit by a car. That is not procrastination, obviously. But when we procrastinate on things we know will bring us pain down the road, it's very clear to most of us. Okay, so how do we use this wonderful little time estimation worksheet, which I continue to use all the time, particularly when I'm feeling overwhelmed about multiple tasks that I need to do? So we can do it super thoroughly. We can do it less thoroughly. I'll do some version of that as an example today. And obviously you will take with it what you do, and hopefully you find a way to make it useful for you. So the way that I tend to do this most usually, and this is always the example I give with my clients, it's something like, pick up kids from school. Okay. Then it's, I need to cook dinner. I need to take dog for a walk. Do some admin work, i.e. email, notes, and let's say take a nap. I love the naps. Okay, take a nap. So how long do I think it will take to pick up my kids from school? I've gotten better with this over time, but I'm still pretty bad. So if I need to leave my office, get to their school, pick them up, bring them home, I usually think 30 to 45 minutes. Okay. So I need to go into my calendar. And if pickup time is 3:30, then I must go and schedule it at 2:45 p.m. Okay. And then I will go into my calendar. I use Google Calendar, and I will insert this into my calendar. Today, that's not happening. Say I'm picking them up tomorrow. So go in here, 2:45. 2:45, pick up kids. Right? I'll adjust that. Boom. It's in my calendar. Another thing that I do a lot of is in here, you can add notifications. So I add one. We'll just 1, 2. I'll add one by email. Let's give myself 1 hour. I set up multiple reminders because I will forget things super quickly and it just sucks. So I'll put that in there. Okay. Pick up kids. Is that what I said? 45 minutes? That's wrong. Again, look at that. I'm already making mistakes. So 45 minutes to leave my office to get to their school and pick them up. Okay, great. So back to here. Okay. So this implies, again, walking to my car. That's about 5 minutes, depending on how far from the office I parked. The other might be, cleaning up office. So maybe I need to leave a little bit more than that. Okay, so this is where you can start breaking it down into smaller steps. Of course, I don't do this all the time, and neither will you. But we do need to practice. There are no excuses. No excuses. Stop blaming your ADHD for your inaction. It is not helpful. One foot in front of the other. We must develop the discipline or just the commitment to changing our life. And it will change. So no excuses. Okay. And back to here. Okay. You can break it down, whatever. I could break this down even more, of course, right? Pick up books, vacuum, perhaps. I don't know, something like that. Okay. Then afterwards, you reassess. So today, maybe it was 35 minutes. Great. I gave myself 10 minutes to spare. What a thought. Have you ever been early for something? Try being early. See how that goes. So there we go. Okay. Then I got to get home and cook dinner. Oh man, I'm never good at this. So I say, let's say 30 to 40 mins. Okay. In my calendar, what time is dinner? It's usually around 6 p.m., something like that. Take dog for a walk. How long does that take? I don't know, 20 minutes. Okay. And literally for me, I do need to break it down like this. So it's take dog for a walk. Okay. Find the leash. I have no idea how to spell that. Okay. Maybe get treats if if I want to bring the treats along. I don't always, but leash, of course. Okay. Those are little things that I will forget. Okay. Do some admin work, email notes. Okay. Sit at home desk, open computer, figure out what notes, emails I need to write. Okay. I'm going to give myself 30 minutes for that. However far I get. Amazing. Okay. So now I know dinner's at 6. Oh, I forgot the main one I always put in here, right? Take a nap. Ooh, yeah. No, how about take daughter to soccer? Okay, that has to happen at, let's say, 7 p.m. on this day. Okay, so now I'm starting to build this out, right? Let's go back to my calendar here. So dinner is here. Whoa, what's going on now? Son, dinner. Okay, so now let's go. I've had to stop this video numerous times because Google Calendar is driving me fucking mental. Talk about using your ADHD emotion regulation skills. So at 6 p.m. after dinner, I must leave for soccer to get my daughter there on time. So that goes in here. Leave for soccer. Okay, there we go. Got that in there. So you get the idea, okay? We're trying to develop an understanding of time, our ability to complete tasks within those times, and the energy involved in that. I often say to people, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. I think the deficit, or one aspect of the deficit, is our ability to understand the relationship between time, energy, outcome. Time, energy, outcome. We don't understand, or we struggle. We have a deficit of understanding that and what it actually takes to complete a bunch of tasks. So a document like this, get her ready, pack bag, clean dinner, all these little things that we don't conceptualize matter. And it matters that we take time to do them. So as you can see, the times in here aren't exactly perfect, but you get the idea. We want to start using these tools, get out the door, plan it, understand time, use our calendar, and just develop this habit of mind that gets us more in alignment with the life we want to live. Okay, so in true ADHD fashion, I perhaps didn't cover the minute details and the end of that because I want to go home and it's late and I've had a long day. So in honor of being happy, joyous, and free from ADHD, I'm going to finish this up, okay? Okay, so after we get a sense of when this is all going to happen, then we can start planning out our time, right? 5:30 p.m. Okay, so I'm going to pick up the kids. I have to get them, I should say at 3:30, as I mentioned. Okay, so I got to leave my office, walking to my car / leave office, right? So what's that at 2:45 p.m., as is mentioned over there. So then I didn't write drive home here. Let's write that too. Okay. Drive home. Luckily, that's not that far. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay. So then we get home at 3:45, give or take. Okay. So then I have 15 minutes to do whatever. I'll take the dog out maybe then. These are just estimations, right? I'm trying to give you an idea. This column here, priority, is the one I kind of skipped. So you can do that within each section, or you can do that with the other one. So for sure, priority number 1 here is get my kids. Okay. Priority number 2, 6 p.m. must be dinner, I guess, and daughter to soccer. 3, email. 4, dog. She'll be all right. 5. Okay. So as long as I got these other ones covered, there's color coding systems. All people have all kinds of systems to prioritize their things. You may want to look at the priority matrix by Stephen Covey from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's a great way to kind of learn how to prioritize things. And if I had organized this video better, perhaps I'd show you that right now. In which case, I will show you that right now. Okay, here's a simple little version of that. So important but not urgent, important and urgent, urgent but not important, not urgent or important. So I would just encourage you to seek this out. There's more detail on this for sure, but that's not the point of this video right now. So I thought it was helpful to show you an important. So I'm showing you. It is kind of helpful. Go check it out. Okay. So we prioritize the stuff, right? Then we figure out how long it actually took. Again, that's in retrospect, and see how good we are. And again, over time, the practices find a way to weave their way into your life and become more consistent. To me, this is enough detail because I've done this so many more times. You can go into more detail. I believe in you. You don't need me to explain it to you right here. So I will leave a link to all these documents in the description of this video. You can download them, copy them, do whatever you want with them. I just like to look at one more little tool I find super helpful. And this comes from Ari Tuckman, who's another sort of ADHD expert, if you will, or clinician who's done a lot of great work for people. In one of his manuals, he asks this question: what is the lie I tell myself to justify my procrastination or avoidance? Then how do I know it's a lie? So the example here that you hear all the time, I'll do it later, I'm too tired, whatever. How do you know it's a lie? Because I just don't want to do it right now. I know that if I don't do it, I'll continue to feel guilty and I'll have the pressure of knowing it's not finished. So it's better to start right now. So I only have to feel the unpleasant feelings of doing the work now, perhaps not feel so guilty. So for you, you may just jot down, what is the lie you always tell yourself about avoiding the tasks you know you need to do? And how do you know it's a lie? I think a big part of ADHD, the problems associated to ADHD, you could say, come from our self-deception. We lie to ourselves all the time. I could do this. I could do that. It'll only take me this long. It'll only take me that long. I'll get it done later, because we don't want to deal with the pain of feeling badly about ourselves and the struggle that we have with completing simple tasks. That is our cross to bear, our raison d'être. We need to deal with this reality if we want to be happy, joyous, and free from the struggles of ADHD. Ooh, happy, joyous, and free from the struggles of ADHD. Follow my shit, watch this video, watch my other stuff, and you may be able to live in alignment with that. Haha, look at that slogan. So I talked about a lot of the challenges that we face with ADHD. I showed you a couple tools here. I think they can be really helpful. The idea is that you make them your own. You find a way to make them your own. Figure out a system that works. You're not going to do it all the time, of course, and that's okay. No excuses. Get back to it as promptly as you can and see what happens. I hope you found that helpful. Again, my name is Mike Stroh. This is the Starts With Me channel. Please like this video, comment on it, share it with someone you think might find it helpful. I appreciate you watching. I wish you all the best. You can always send me questions if you have them. Take it easy. Peace out. I am very grateful that you watched to the end of this video. Please click one of the boxes to watch more of our content, and otherwise have a great day. Peace out.